Hello and welcome back to the Clean Mom Edit podcast. So I want to start today by being just really honest with you because I know you feel things deeply, just like I do. I think that's just in our motherly nature. But this past week has absolutely humbled me as a mother. Bane has not slept. He's getting in I'm pretty sure his molars, but also comes with congestion, which comes with his histamine flares and his skin just being agitated. So all of the things, I think we're also going through the clingy phase, just a lot of developmental things. He's learning to, babble and walk, and I think just some big major milestones for him, which are exciting, but also I am a individual who needs a lot of rest. And so he, I've been waking up and, he's been just uncomfortable. So, in the pain, arching, crying, and I forgot, how I just forgot this stage, but I'm this is my third kid. I know that this is what's going on, and nothing really has, been working the way that I've wanted it to lately. And my nervous system has been a little loud. It's been overstimulated. It's been tired, maxed out. So today's episode, it's definitely not a lesson. It's not a list of tips. It's just the truth about what motherhood feels like when your energy runs out fast and how to soften it instead of spiraling. So let me tell you what happened. So for 3 nights straight, Bane just can't get settled, and he's uncomfortable. He's thrashing. He's throwing his head back, just not finding a position that felt comfortable. And, we did give him some medicine, and we've, rocked him, and Trevor and I did some tag teaming a little bit. He's great, but, and, still nothing has been, helping in long stretches. So I hit the point where, the one where your body just goes into straight panic mode. Your mind starts telling stories that, aren't true. I'm doing something wrong. Did I eat something that hurt him? Is it my milk? Why can't I soothe him? I feel I was giving him to Trevor, and Trevor could soothe him. I just was confused, and I realized that it was just fear, fear mixed with ultimately no sleep, fear mixed with overwhelmness, fear mixed with trying so hard to be perfect for a tiny human who just needed comfort. And so if you've ever been in that spot or have ever felt like this, that kind of I don't know what else to do moment, helpless, hopeless, just even sometimes I'm the mom, why can't I, help him? You're not alone. So this is what I've really learned is that when our babies are struggling, our nervous systems go into survival mode. So we start scanning for danger. We try to control everything. We blame ourselves. We look for the thing we did wrong. But none of that comes from intuition. It comes from strictly just exhaustion. So my breast milk is definitely not hurting him. I know this, and my food that I was eating, consuming wasn't hurting him, and my body wasn't the problem. He was just uncomfortable, and I was just completely overwhelmed, and that's all the story wrote, right? So I've said this before, but this week it just reminded me of it in just a huge way. Motherhood does not feel the same for everyone. Some moms can go all day, and some moms thrive in noise and motion and chaos. Me, my energy burns out so fast and my nervous system gets loud quick. I need a lot of softness to function. I do rely heavily on my slower mornings. I need a lot of breaks. I need calmness, and that maybe you too. And I just told one of the moms that messaged me on Instagram, I'm like, it's only taken me 3 kids to, realize this about myself, and that, a lot of years I've been beating myself down that I'm not a good mom. Like, I remember my boss in one of my jobs, and I just remember always looking at her like, how does she do it all? She's like, yep, I do 1 load of laundry. And, she had, I think, like 3 kids at the time, and I had only 2. Like, I'm like, I just don't know, like with one more, like I feel overwhelmed. I remember going through postpartum, and like, she was just like flourishing. Like, she loved it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to be like that. But I realized that like her and I are just very different. And I find my, gifts and my struggles in different areas than her, and just like accepting that. But it's taken me, Bexley's 7, like over 7 years of just complete torture in my mind of just telling myself that, I'm an inadequate mother. I'm not, maybe I've had the thoughts of like, am I even meant to be a mom? Like, why did God give me these beautiful children? But like, there's days that like, I just am like, I don't know if I could do this, So our bodies, they just have very different rhythms. And I think me understanding that now has opened so many doors for me, and just like self-love, self-acceptance, and just like confidence of like who I am and being proud of it, but just also like building my life around who I truly am meant to be and how I rhythm, so that I can show up as the best version for my kids. So honestly, last night was the 3rd night, and I was like, Trevor, like I need you to take him. Like I'm feeling a little bit, of like, I'm about to spiral. Like I just needed to like take a breath. Like, so he took him in the room, and I literally just sat on the couch, and I leveraged ChatGPT, and just said like, I have this limiting belief that I am somehow hurting Bane. Like what I'm consuming is hurting him, because I feel like everything I've done, or like what I'm putting on my body, like everything that I've, I feel like I've done everything I can for him. I've quit my job for him. I'm home. I have him on a steady schedule. Like I'm feeding him nourishing food. Like I'm giving him, amazing supplements. And, again, bottom line to this story is that like, it's all about nervous system and regulating that. So I took my own advice, and I sat there and read what it spat out to me, that, some grounding mechanisms. And so I put my hand on my chest. I took 1 deep breath, and I just reminded myself that my milk is safe, my body is safe, my baby is safe. And I swear my whole system softened. Like it didn't fix the night, but it fixed my fear in that moment. So I just went in the dark room, and then ultimately he was still not getting comfortable. So I had to go back in there, and I just picked him up, and I just held him. Like, this is where he's meant to be. And, sometimes that's all we can do as mom is just not, fix the situation, but, soothe the story that we're telling ourselves about it, and just be there alongside our kids. Like, I realize like I'm such a protector of my kids. I realize that I can't always protect them, that there's a certain extent to that they are here, to go through their own, trials and tribulations, just like I have, and I survived. And I hope that they don't have to go through similar ones, because I am going to help educate them on how to, navigate what I've been through. But I know there's going to be situations that I've never been through before, AKA like this, skin sensitivity with Bane. This is a whole new ballgame. I never struggled with any like health concerns, but I know that I can't say that for a lot of other individuals. So I'm just walking alongside him, but ultimately, like, it's his body, and, he is doing an amazing job at fighting it, and he's still like the happiest baby. And like, I got to fix myself. And I know that by fixing myself, he's going to follow along with me. So if you're listening today and you've had, a hard week, or, you've been up, a couple days of night with your baby isn't, sleeping, and maybe your house feels loud, or if your nervous system is screaming, if you're spiraling it into guilt or fear, like, here's what I want you to hear. You are not the cause of your baby's discomfort. You are not the comfort. You are not the comfort. You are the comfort in it. Your energy isn't wrong. It just needs softness. It needs slowness. It needs compassion. And you're allowed to mother differently. That's a bold invitation. You're allowed to mother differently. You're allowed to move slower. You're allowed to need breaks. You're allowed to not be okay for a moment. So I just want to thank you for listening today. Thank you for letting me be really real. Thank you for sitting in the softness with me. And if this resonated with you, if maybe motherhood feels heavy for you sometimes, I'd love for you to share this episode with another mom who needs it. Let's build a community of acceptance between all mothers. So, if you also need a quick win, I do have my official launch of my first program in this new life of wellness coaching, which encompasses a lot of nervous system regulation and also human design, and educating individuals on how to find their rhythm. You can sign up through my link in my bio, but it is a baseline of this journey. I'm currently in the middle of building out an advancement program after that. So it should be here by the end of the month. I'm hoping to launch it for January. And it's going to be very interesting because it's ultimately a program that I'm currently doing to heal myself. I'm that person who I will never tell you to do something if I haven't done it, giving you real life experience. And so I want to be my own transformation story for you all. So you can do the 7 days Clean Mom Reset right now. But it's, ultimately not about doing more. It's about learning to mother in your rhythm. So I love you. You're doing better than you think, and I'll talk to you next week.